Why do I not hear Brad very well?
I was born the youngest of four crazy kids, and Christmas morning always started at 6. From the top of the stairs we come down like a mob to make sure Santa had done his job. Now after the presents, Mom would announce, put on your coats, we're getting out of this house. I'd ask, where are we going? She'd say, not you, dear. We'll be back in a couple hours. You stay here. What? See, my mom and dad have been married before, but they never had bothered to tell me the score. So I got a lot of siblings, but they're all just half. They all got step-parents. Well, you do the math. They had a two-step Christmas. They did the two-step Christmas. They had step-families all over town, but my folks have stayed married, so I got left out. I got one little Christmas, they got more than two. Ever feel like Christmas stepped all over you?
Hey, Brad, you gotta see this. They gave me a pocket knife. It's got a spoon and a scissors and a toothpick.
All I got was a toothpick.
I try to be grateful for all of my gifts, but I really got the short end of the Christmas stick. My brothers had 20 new gifts in their stash. Hey, where'd you get all that Christmas cash? Leaving me out was so impolite. Who'd I piss off not to get an invite? They had a two-step Christmas. They did the two-step Christmas. They get more presents and they're all top drawer, cause guilt-ridden parents give a whole lot more. I spent Christmas alone. Oh, super, that's fine. Man, I wish that two-step Christmas could be mine.
Easy bake oven, I got an orange.
I gotta get me a family that blends, or spend Christmas season with my Jewish friends. 8 nights of presents that I can endorse, or get mom and dad to get a divorce. I get a two-step Christmas. I do the two-step Christmas. I got only one chimney for Santa to come down, but it finds my siblings all over town. Extra gifts from extra moms and loot from extra dads, and all the grandparents I never had. I want a two-step Christmas. They do the two-step Christmas. I leave extra milk and cookies for Santa's snack. The least he could do is fill an extra sack. I got one little Christmas, they get more than two. Parents who stay married, how selfish are you? Seriously.
A toothpick.
1,000 Questions is an entertaining discussion of marriage. We aren't telling you to do or feel or change anything about your life. Really, just listen and enjoy. And if you need real help, find a professional for your specific problem. We don't know you. How could we speak to your deal? Okay, have fun. Hello, everybody. Welcome to 1,000 Marriage Questions. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay, because I wasn't on the mic really. I changed mics to a more important, more expensive mic. Are either of you, welcome Donna, welcome Joe, are either of you products of a broken home?
Yes, but I never had step family, and so I didn't have all that jealousy happening.
You did not have any step brothers and sisters. Joe?
No, I'm from a very nuclear family. However, my wife is from a family that's pretty much all over the place.
All over the place. So she had, that song was a very touching tribute to being the youngest sibling in a family where all your other siblings went out and went to their other parents' house and got millions of dollars worth of stuff. And I got screwed. And it hurts my heart today.
It's so interesting because I work with divorced families so much, and the kids do not get that perspective. And so to hear that there's a perspective from the nuclear family unit that looks at those kids like, gosh, they got all this stuff. I have literally not really considered that.
Really? Do you never hear?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't hear when you're working with these divorced families and even blended families, you're not seeing any jealousy, like kid jealousy from one to the other family and stuff like that?
I see in the same family, or if sometimes they'll think their step brothers or sisters are getting more than them. But you were saying in the song, like how selfish it is to not get divorced.
Yes. Yes, the kid is.
There's that. Yes.
Yeah. Well, okay. It was a little far in the song.
Yeah.
I was saying that
say.
my parents need to get a divorce and marry other people so that I can get more stuff from them.
Right?
Yes, that was,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So that's called a reframe. And I was like, I think I like that reframe. I'm going to be like, what? Now you have like 2 homes and 2 Christmases, and you get all kinds of extra presents, especially parents who are guilty, like you said.
Right.
That's right. So
guilty parents. Yeah.
you can now use that song in your practice to
Yeah.
show that to all the families. Everybody else can too.
I wish I had seen that song when I was a kid, and I would have tried to get my parents to divorce.
That's
that would
right.
have been.
I just could not get my
I
parents
would have
to
thought that
split
would have been
up
a
at the
good
time.
plan. Yeah.
I felt terrible. I get all the tricks I tried,
Right.
putting
Yeah.
panties in the glove
Sure.
box,
Sure.
with,
The whole deal.
Yeah,
Whatever
the
it
whole
takes.
deal, all of it,
Yeah.
to
More
try to
gifts
see
for
that.
me, because really that's what Christmas is all about too. There's another level of that, which is like, how come I don't get more crap for Christmas? Because that's really what Christmas is all about. Jesus said I should get more stuff.
Counting the gifts. That's the
Right.
most important thing about Christmas,
Most
is
important thing.
counting the gifts. Do you get that with, I don't know how this became a Christmas show. I just wanted to play that
either.
video so people will go buy it. But, and you can go get that on any platform. Do you have with kids who are like, you have families that come in and they're married couple and the kids that are jealous of each other and the parents and what do you do with those people?
So I have to say, there's a thing about siblings that I have an issue with parents trying to almost encourage competition.
Mm-hmm.
The siblings have the world to compete with. They don't need to compete with each other.
True.
So I have this rule of no comparing, no competing. Do
Yeah.
not let your children compare and compete with each other. They
Yeah.
can do that with everybody else, not with each other. They need to be a unit and a team.
Yep.
So I try to discourage it, but of course I see it all the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's only because most parents, have a favorite. And
Oh, wait. Oh, my God.
Wait, would I just say that? That was no.
We'll get
that's
to
it.
that. That's question number 4.
Is it
Somebody
really?
asked that today.
That's
Yeah.
actually okay. Good. Well, I'll just wait till we get to that. 'cause
Wait
I
till we
think
get to it. Wait till
that
we
was-
get to it.
That was
Wait
a
till we
comedy
get to it.
joke there.
Okay. So okay. We haven't really started. I apologize. Should we start?
I guess we should. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
Welcome
do
to the show, everybody. I was going to do the commercial thing right now, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go back to last week's final question, which was a dull one, if you remember. Does anybody remember how dull this question was?
I thought it was something we wanted to answer.
No, it's something that's dull. How
Oh.
do you get? No, that was week 4. How do you get your spouse to use the dirty clothes hamper? This is the oldest.
That's not dull.
Well-
That is a serious challenge.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's pretty obvious. It's the rolled up newspaper on the nose. I
Yeah.
think that's the best way. Yeah, to do that. Just make sure every time
That
it's
is
on
the
clothes.
one thing I have not tried.
Yeah, try
Well-
that. It works.
That might work, but I have a guaranteed solution. You paint the word hamper across the side of your house. Now the entire house is the hamper.
Perfect. Problem. You are a problem solver today,
Wherever you
Brad.
throw it, that's going to
it.
happen.
Yeah,
Okay,
That's what I'm going to want to say. I live in a hamper.
Yeah.
Live in a hamper. That's
Live
right.
in a hamper.
That's the solution.
Do
Yeah.
people come in and fight about these mundane things?
That is mundane. That's very mundane.
No, they do. Yes, they do.
I just realized I just moved my daughter into a new apartment last week, and she was a slob. Okay, total slob. And after she was gone, I realized that there were no clothes on the floor. And I said, "Boy, I wonder if she's going to go ahead and make that rule in her new apartment, because maybe this would be a good time to start." And then I realized something. I have never seen any of my wife's clothes on the floor ever. Never once have
Really?
any of my wife's clothes ever touched. Oh, she's crazy. But yeah, it's never they touch the floor. So I think that's a good rule.
Why would they touch the floor if the hamper's right there?
Well, that's
Our
sometimes,
hamper is in the laundry room, so
yeah, but sometimes you take your clothes off wherever and they just kind of fall
and they
there.
get to it.
Their clothes off wherever.
All of us.
All I do.
My wife does.
Just
My
like
wife does that.
random
She'll-
It's just, yeah.
She'll take
Random
things
moments.
off on the look. If you're heading into the bathtub, you walk in the bathroom, and between the the
Right.
door and the
Yeah.
bathtub, it all drops onto the floor right there.
Right
and
there.
then you get in the bathtub, and
Yep.
then after you get out and towel off, then you're wandering out into the house again. You carry the stuff with you and put it in the.
Do
You don't
you?
leave it there for a month. You then
Oh,
carry
okay.
out and put it in the hamper.
Yeah. Yeah, I've taken off clothes in different places in the house just because whatever, not the stairs typically because that can be dangerous.
I don't have now the stair. Yeah, that's my best place, and I hop down too as I
Right,
do.
that's a good one. Yeah,
But I mean, that's odd that you don't do this. And what does your
I
husband do?
thought
down
every bedroom had a hamper in it. And you take the
ours
hamper
is in our closet. Ours is in our closet. We have a
Wait,
hamper in our
there
there?
is
closet.
a
Okay,
hamper in it.
no. Are you crazy? Every bedroom has a hamper. Then you've got to collect every hamper in every room and take it to the laundry room.
Yeah.
If your kids are 3,
Yeah.
not if your kids are grown up, they do their own laundry. So really,
Yeah.
you're only taking your hamper to the
No,
laundry.
but why would I do that when the stuff in 10 minutes can end up in the damn hamper in the laundry room instead of filling up 3 hampers and then having to collect it all?
Because that's you
No, that's crazy.
are adding a step to the
That's
problem.
crazy.
No.
Yeah.
It's efficient. You have the hamper near where you take your clothes off. It's off into the hamper. And
The,
then
only reason you have a hamper is because that's where dirty clothes go. All right, that's where they all
No.
collect,
She
and
has
that's where they're supposed to
3
be.
hampers, not 1 hamper.
no.
3 or 4
Take the
freaking hampers.
hamper to the laundry room.
Yeah, and you take your hamper to the laundry room.
But
when
no,
it's
you
time for
said you
to
have 3
do your
hampers.
laundry.
We only have 1 hamper, and it's
I'm
and now
sorry,
the word
you need to
okay.
get another hamper. They
The
aren't.
word hamper now has no meaning for me.
It
right
doesn't,
now.
does it? A hamper.
It's not. It's just
So weird.
hamper.
Yeah,
It doesn't
it's
mean
hampering
anything
the
now.
conversation, actually.
Hamper.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been hampering our conversation. Yes.
Yes, it really
So
has.
Now we don't even want to know the word hamper.
Yeah, I think hamper has put a damper on this.
It's not a
issue
word
right now.
anymore.
It really
doesn't
is.
exist. Oh my God,
Yes.
it's such a horrible word.
Yeah, and if you don't use a hamper, well, I mean, you only use a hamper to kind of pamper yourself from throwing stuff on the floor.
Yeah,
so,
it puts a damper on the hamper.
Right, it does.
When you
There's
want
a
to
damper on
pamper.
the
You don't
you know.
hamper? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what the worst pet peeve is? When you
What?
throw your clothes on the ground right next to the hamper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do that after
all
I work
the
out.
time.
all
There
the
are
time.
socks right next to our hamper right now. I don't know where they came from.
Well, but mine is that my sweaty, disgusting clothes,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to put them right in the hamper, and it's in the laundry room. So if they don't go right in the washer after
Yeah.
I've run, then there's a mat there that kind of to let them dry off a bit before
Right.
we put them in the washer.
Okay, but
How
now
bad are you sweating?
the question here,
you,
though,
you run 90 minutes, you're going to sweat.
the question though is, how do you get somebody to do it if they don't do it? How do you
They don't
change
want to,
behavior?
I
Right?
do
have
you?
yet to figure that out. I have a son who does it. I have a granddaughter who does it. I have a husband who does it. I have yet to figure out the solution. So I gave up.
What I said that I threatened to do many times, I never did it, was I threatened to just throw whatever I saw on the floor in the trash.
You're going to do that with a grown up?
I think that would get the point across, wouldn't it?
In his first year of marriage, his wife lost all of her clothing. That's why he's never seen
Yeah.
another piece of clothing on the floor.
Oh, you have to go to work naked today, huh? Well, who's that? That's on you, pal. Right? Yeah. So
My daughter never clothes all over the floor. My wife always picked them up, always washed them, always put them away and everything. And the first year of college, the first semester was a rough go. I had to literally drive up there once to help her with her laundry because she had mixed her clean and she didn't put her clean away and the dirty stuff was still on the floor. So
did you get her a hamper?
No,
See,
but
there you
but
go.
You need to buy hampers.
no, she has, but
Not
she
in
had
the
so
bucket.
many clothes. It was triple filling the hamper. But now she does a small load every couple of days instead. And she's now doesn't want to live in dreck. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
You get to the point where you're like, oh, I don't like living in dreck. You know what I mean? So I know. Okay. So you can't, you're saying you can't do it.
I have yet to.
I say throw the clothes away. If the clothes are on the floor, throw them away.
It's going to end up in a divorce.
Yeah, well,
This is
at least
not
they'll
gonna-
learn how to use the damn hamper.
I say the person who cares puts it in the damn hamper. Just pick it up. Pick it up.
It's kind of how it goes.
Yeah. The
It's
person
not
who cares-
bothering them. They don't care. Bothers you. Just put them in the hamper. Still to this day, still doing that.
You know, this next thing, and the handwriting's really good for this kind of question. I don't know if you can, we'll see if that shows up.
Not really.
Why do men always fart in the most awkward spaces or locations? Why?
Is there a proper place to fart?
The bathroom.
The bathroom, but you're not always in a bathroom.
Yeah.
I mean,
You gotta.
And
you
you
can't always find a
do not
bathroom.
express until you're in the appropriate place.
Well,
That's not possible.
the bathroom is for bathing, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's why it's called a bathroom. There should be a fart room.
The toilet. Yeah.
That would make it
You know
easy.
what? Now you've got
That's
houses.
the mandate.
The toilet is in a separate room.
Mm-hmm.
Now we need another separate room that is the fart room.
Right.
And then the shower and the bathtub.
If
Yeah.
you're farting, you probably need to use the restroom, so you might as well just go. Just go right there.
But you don't have to go. You just have
Recognize
to have
the
gas.
signs.
Yeah. I don't know if that's how it works.
Things are moving.
No, you have no idea. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
when it's I mean, Gary Shandling said that one time about I remember him saying he got married, and his friends were like, "Wow, you got married? We didn't expect that. Why'd you get married so quick?" He goes, "I just couldn't hold it in anymore."
Yeah, we find
So and that's kind of how it is. And,
While they were dating, and do that.
yeah, the whole time. It's painful. That's why you get married, is so you can just let it out sometimes.
Oh,
You're locked in.
my gosh. If that was true, then females would be doing it too, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I don't know. There's
They do.
biological differences. I don't mean
No,
to
they're
sound.
able,
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, there's-
they're able to squeak it out without people knowing.
Yeah.
I've said this a million times. If we're in the car
Mhm.
and I would have any gas, I'm going to hear about it for the next 72 miles.
Right.
Right. But if they would have any gas whatsoever, I better not say anything.
Yeah.
Can't open the window. It
Right.
did not exist. Because
Nope.
if I would say anything, then it would be 10 times worse for me. But if I were to have anything, they're going to jump. They're going to fall out. Oh, God.
Yeah.
I don't wanna be-
Yeah, that's one of the things.
Little
It's
standard, little double
yeah.
standard.
well, I think maybe there are certain muscles that you were supposed to use to keep it in, and like other muscles, the more they're trained, the better you are at. And I think women really concentrate on those muscles and do a good job. I don't have those
Sphincter
muscles. I don't.
kegels?
No, I don't know. I think there's more to it.
Sphincter
There's
kegels?
got to be more to it than that.
Things are
There
just
really is.
dropping out.
It's
I
pretty
think
much
that-
constant in our house.
It comes to the point where you're a little worried about what might come out if you
Right.
just let the gas go.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you
That's-
see,
Go to the bathroom.
well,
That's-
I know,
but-
but
just getting up to go to the bathroom is too much, because then it's out.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, then
I'm
you're-
sorry, I moved. Sorry, it just stuck
yeah,
out.
I mean, it just you
That
just
happens
it's,
just because you move.
Yeah,
that's right.
that's why. Yeah, you can't move.
It means your digestive system and your intestines are moving, and you probably need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, and I think it's very important to let it out, because if you don't, you become very stressed. And I think there's no empirical evidence, but that's just my belief on that.
Well, and I think it was Thea Vidal who always said it was always nice to be behind her husband in the grocery, and he lets it go, and then it's this time tunnel that you can't get out of when you walk in it. It's endless. There's no direction you can go to get out of it. So
yeah.
Yes.
That is the most embarrassing thing to me ever.
What?
Is when we're in a grocery store and I know what happened and no one else. Like, I feel like what am I going to do with this situation? I can't even associate with this person anymore.
Yeah.
You have to leave and not associate with the later, because somebody might know that that's who did it.
Yeah.
And then I have to that was my husband, and I don't want anyone to know that that was my husband.
And
husband
what's
would probably
funny
be
is
like-
if it was her, it was still her husband. So
Right,
that was,
yeah.
If she did it, it was still him.
If my wife if we'd be in that similar situation, my wife would actually, she wouldn't either. She's appalled if that would happen. But if she were to be mad enough to say he did it, I'd be like, thank you very much. Thank
Good
you.
night, everybody.
Thank you. That was a good one. That was
I'll be
a
here
good
all
one.
week.
Yep.
Enjoy
Proud
the
of that
veal.
one.
Oop, I did.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're not even embarrassed or nothing. You're like, yep.
Not
that was-
anymore. I'm not. It just sometimes it just happens, and it's a natural body function that everybody has that occasionally happens. It's just how many occasions.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
question
natural
here.
body functions that happen that we're not supposed to be doing in public.
And mine is, of course,
Public. Says who?
hey, anybody else out there take your mask off to sneeze? That's my thing. See, if I'm not to sneeze, that's
just
when
the
I'm not
dumbest thing
sneezing.
I've
I'd
ever
rather
heard.
sneeze all over you people than sneeze into my own mask. That's crazy.
In your own self.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
right.
nuts. I have to deal with that.
Yeah,
So-
I don't want to have to deal with my sneeze.
But think of this. Think of this. When kids start learning to have gas and
Yeah.
the sound,
Yeah.
it is the most joyous thing. They can't
It's
get
still
enough of it.
hysterical.
It's hilarious. When you've got a 3-year-old running around just tooting away, giggling
Hysterical.
and falling apart.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Comedy.
It's
You're not
fantastic.
3 anymore. You are not a toddler anymore.
I'm getting closer to being 3 again. So
I rarely
When you're-
rarely do it for comic effect anymore. It's just natural function. Like
yeah, I was
said.
going to
It's-
say it's not comical
it's not,
anymore. It's
yeah.
actually real.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
that's lovely. What a lovely
If there was some
topic.
sort of mute that I could use, I'd do it. I would. I really would. But I can't hold it.
it has to be all senses mute, like not just.
Something. Yeah. I
Okay,
don't
you know,
Yeah,
my
good
worst
point.
one is on the
Did
trampoline.
you know?
When I was
Trampoline. That's a
when
good
I was
one.
in high school and junior high, you would get on the trampoline in gym, and I didn't have to go to the bathroom, but you would be, and then it would just be a every time you came down,
Every time,
and you
that's
couldn't
comedy.
stop it.
Yeah.
There's nothing you could do, and you're like, well, this is just every time I hit, that's going to come out because it's forcing the air out of my body. It's just air at this point. No smell, there's just for some reason air trapped in my colon that's coming out. It has nothing to do with,
You know
no
what?
smell, no thing. As I jumped up, I would suck air in,
Yeah.
into my colon because I would such a
Boy.
good force.
What kind of tricks were you doing?
Oh, that was one of them right there. The
Okay,
air
all
suck.
right,
I
good
would,
enough.
I would come down slower that way too.
Do you know that used to be a form of entertainment in the 19th century in France? There was a very famous, I think he performed at the Moulin Rouge for a while. La Pète aux Mains was I don't know how to speak French, but he could actually fart musical tunes, and people would pay
Oh,
to see him.
stop.
That we
Oh,
have
I'm
that.
not making
They
this
have
up.
that on how
I'm
I know,
not
I
making this
know.
up.
Yeah,
I am
let's move on.
not.
Okay.
Japanese do it too.
But I'm thinking
Well, it gets
maybe
worse.
this is going to be my new future since the comedy thing.
Yeah,
isn't
this is
panning
your
out.
topic. This
Yeah.
is what you're going to do from now on. You're going to start
But
working.
you gotta
sent
play to your, gotta play to your strengths.
You have
I
sphincter
sent you
control.
guys a link to some very helpful information regarding flatulence filtering underwear. Okay.
That is creepy.
That
you
is,
just
I will.
said.
Don't let my wife see that.
If
I'll
this
have
is
some on
your
the doorstep.
mentality and
Oh
you're
my
all
God.
over the place doing this, then at least get that
Okay.
filtering.
Here we go.
Yep.
We've spent way too much time on farting. Okay. Although it gets worse. Although this one is gross in a way, but it leads to a bigger issue that I'm probably going to disagree with you guys on. If you break both your arms and your wife won't wipe your butt, let's say, for you, who do you ask to do it? So if you break both your arms and your wife won't wipe your hind end for you, who do you ask to do it?
Okay, is this a hypothetical, or did this really happen to some poor dude?
Let's pretend it really happened. It happens. Things like this happen all the time where somebody becomes disabled in a way that needs help to do this. My grandmother, when my dad took care of my grandmother when
true.
she was in the last throes, and he said, yeah, that's really changes kind of the relationship when you have to do this. If you think of the movie with Robert Downey Jr. and what's his name, where dad's the lawyer, hates the kid. He goes and takes care of his dad in the final days. And this is just something in a serious thing that happens to a lot of us, that you then have to either take care of a parent or a spouse and do this kind of thing. And you don't have to.
Yeah.
But then where do you go? And is it important that you have to? Do you have to? So
Do you
Don,
have
is
to
there
wipe?
any-
Wait, is the question? Do you have to wipe your butt, or do you have to
No,
rely?
you have to
on
have
somebody do it
them.
for
No,
you?
if they won't do it, who do you ask to do it?
Good point.
But I'm going with a bigger issue, and that is, do you have to do it? Donna, does anything ever broach your practice that is anything like this?
There is, and I don't think you have to do it. I think there's professionals who that's their jobs, caregiving. So if
Yeah.
there's a way to hire somebody or have the insurance cover somebody to do that process, if there's no one else there, and I'm not going to let someone sit in that,
Yeah.
I would do it.
Yeah.
but I would not want to be the designated person. There are professionals for that.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a level. That's also kind of, everybody has their different levels of how far they'll go when it comes to that kind of stuff. I mean, there's going to be a point in time where, I guess, if you're together for a long enough time, you're going to be taking care of yourself, taking care of each other, like Brad said. So, you know, I mean, I don't know. I'd do anything for my wife. I really would. But yeah, anything. It doesn't matter. And it's like, there's some things I'd probably be better at than others, you know? But she calls me an asswipe all the time. So,
yeah, that's pretty much your
probably good at that.
Yeah.
Probably be good at that.
New line of work or something.
Right. So,
Well, I think this is, you know, who wrote this song? I think it's, he wrote this song. Who wrote this question was Meatloaf, because it explains his song. I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that.
I won't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I don't see it as a problem. I don't have any sort of issue with doing this kind of thing personally myself. But if I did, I would find someone else to do it, and I don't think you should be shamed or mad or hated for it.
That's an interesting I just wondered what the motive behind that question was. If it was hypothetical, if it really happened, or if somebody's testing how far a person would go. Do you really love me?
Yeah, I'm thinking someone said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or had this guy borrowed a lot of money from the mob that he couldn't pay back?
Good point.
He
There's
knew
that
something
too.
was coming.
Right.
He was preparing.
He was preparing because they said, we're going to break both your arms if you don't pay this back. And he's like, that's okay. My wife's going to wipe my butt. Or who do I call if she won't?
Yeah. That's a big question.
Yeah. You call Earl
I would
Butt Wipe
also-
Service.
I would try to be like MacGyver and figure out some kind of contraption to wipe my own butt.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
it's
I wonder
called-
if these flatulent proof underwear that you just put on the chat might help. That'd be great.
I got a better idea. Go out and rescue a medium-sized dog.
Oh, shush you. Don't even go farther. Don't
I'd
even
go-
don't even
go-
go farther than
And
No,
then
why
teach
would
it to
you-
play London Bridges.
why
I
do you-
think the answer to this question is, don't you have a cat? Yeah, that would be.
Oh, well, no, that's a little different. I was saying the
Guys,
dog's walking under the.
why that even goes into your head. I don't know.
Just picture this dog walking through the
No.
house, and you're.
No.
Hey, come here, and it just,
Yeah, perfect. Right there. Yeah.
perfect, perfect. Make it one of those a standard poodle. 'cause it's
Standard
got that
poodle. Yeah, right.
Brillowy
right.
kind
You know
of
why you're
thick hair.
going with this.
What?
You know why you're keeping this going.
Why?
Because I'm disgusted.
Yep.
You're disgusted. Okay.
Pretty much why. I think you're
All
right. Yeah. This really turned into from a marriage show to a poop show.
This is
I
our,
know.
this is our
yeah. So
And
toilet.
we didn't get to your,
humor.
and we didn't get. I have a 7 tips for keeping your man thing, because we always love to do those.
Oh, I love
we
those.
didn't even get to your question. We could do it real quick. We'll do this one.
Did
Do you really love all your children equally, or do you have favorites? By the way, Joe, let's say it is Happy Transgender Awareness Day.
it is.
Yeah,
Yes.
Please happy Transgender Folk Day out
Now
in the
it's
world.
weird because there's actually a LGBTQ awareness month too.
Yes. That's true.
which is coming up. But today is actually Transgender Day. I have a flag. I have a trans flag that we hang out front. It's pretty cool, actually. Nobody knows what it is. Not in this neighborhood. But
Just
they're
Not
like,
in that neighborhood. yeah.
pretty colors. Is that for Easter? Yes.
It's next to the Trump flag.
Yes,
it's
it
right
is.
next to
Yeah.
the Trump
Right
flag.
next to
and
the
it's-
Trump flag.
Yes,
So.
that's very good. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out, that we
Yeah.
all need to be better and notice transgender folk. So,
Yeah.
okay, do you really love all your children equally, or do you have a favorite? Don and I only have one child, don't we?
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I have two. Thanks, though.
Yeah,
have
but
a
only one
daughter?
of them. But she really only cares about one of them.
Because while we were talking, somebody walked in the room a few minutes
That was
ago.
a grandchild.
That was the granddaughter. Okay.
Okay.
So you do have two, and two boys? What do you have?
Two boys,
didn't know that.
31 and 32.
Because you
Yeah.
only talk about the one. So I wondered.
Now,
didn't
I
know you
think
had
we
two.
talk about them both, but like I don't really
Yeah.
differentiate which one I'm talking about. So
Yeah, you don't say youngest or oldest. You just say my son. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
I kind of
think you're right.
blended them into one.
You-
That's because I love them both equally.
I
Now-
don't believe that's true.
About this question, though, I mean, really seriously, is there one that stands out? I think only having 2 kids, of course, that would be silly to say that I have a favorite because, well, first of all, I don't. But secondly, it's like that would really be crushing to the other one. But if you have a brood and one of them stands out, you can say that, and the other will be like, I hated that guy anyway, or whatever. So they can all kind of rally around. But I don't know. Some people, I think some people might feel that way. I think you take everybody on their own merits and love them for what they are. You know? So
I think that's crap.
You only have one. How do you even?
That's right.
Kid. I'm the only one here that can speak on that.
We only had the one because that one worked out. You guys had to have another one.
Oh.
The first one wasn't doing so hot. You're
Yeah,
like,
well,
oh man,
that
we
was-
screwed this up. We got to have another one to see if we can fix it.
I think as far as
actually not like that. It's actually the one you have was so easy and good. You're like, I'm sure I have another one. It's like nothing, and then that shocks you.
yeah, that's kind of how it went. Yeah.
So
that's
you're both
exactly
saying the
how it
first one is the one you like the better. You just said
It's
it. You just
correct.
proved it right now. You just said the
went.
first
No,
one.
we
is
said they
better.
were easier. We didn't say we liked them any better. So yeah.
I
we
mean,
don't.
no maintenance.
Yeah, it doesn't. You don't like it, and that fluctuates, because they change as they grow older,
Mhm.
And so I personally love both my kids equally, but I kind of like the one who's asking us for less money more.
Yeah,
That
yes.
changes weekly. You know what I
The
mean?
one who needs the less money is the
Yeah.
one you
At the
like the
time.
most.
Right.
Yes, that's-
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty important stuff right there.
Yeah.
So,
Right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully you'll like them both a lot someday soon. Because they won't want
It's
any
not
money.
conditional.
Yeah. That's how that works. Yeah.
The
Once
first
they're all,
one to whip out the credit card for
once
dinner
they're
for all of
financially
you.
independent, I'll
That
love
one
them
wins.
equally. Yes.
That's the one that wins is the first one.
Right.
But it is something to be said for the fact that usually kids have a parent that they're more alike, that you end up spending more time with because your personalities jibe better, or stuff like that. That I see quite a bit.
That
So have-
changes too, though, Brad.
It
That
does change. No, it
changes too.
does. Well,
Yeah.
it changed with us. Like
Yeah.
my daughter, obviously, when I'm like a kid person. Dogs and animals and kids
Yeah.
are up to
I
a
thought
certain
it
age.
was a good person.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they gravitate towards me because I'm really good with them. They know
Right.
I'm kind. They know I'm going to be fun and funny. They know I would never hurt them. They can feel it. Animals can feel the same thing. An animal knows if you're a good person, so they treat you better.
Tell
and
that to
become-
Joe Biden's dogs.
Yeah, oh yeah, Major's doing some nipping, so he knows.
Thinking he's
But
just-
yeah, so I've always. But then when they get to be teenagers, they don't care as much about funny, goofy dudes that are helpful and stuff like that. They want to be cooler, and I'm zero cool. So, and then they gravitate. Like my wife is very good. She started liking, hey, let's shop and let's go out and buy. It wasn't just me putting a scavenger hunt together that she couldn't wait to do. And they start to connect a lot better on those issues.
Yeah, it changes.
And stuff like that. Yeah,
It changes.
I
It
believe
changes according to their needs and who can provide the most. I mean, who can provide for those needs better? I mean, when you're young, of course, your mother is the one who has the maternal instinct and everything. And then when they get a little older, you're right, you got a funny dad, and then after that, maybe back to the mom because she's been in that awkward stage like her daughter, and then it goes back to the dad because he's got the money, and then it goes back to the mom. You know what I'm saying?
And then it's Carl, the drug addict biker. That's how
yeah,
it gets.
yes. How do
Once
you
they
know
hit-
Carl?
Yeah, Carl.
So-
Yeah, there's always a Carl, the
Yeah.
17 and 18 and 19-year-old biker, or 22 when they're 17.
Gosh.
Or if you're 17, you've got
not.
Matt Getz.
What world? Oh, jeez. Wow. I thought we weren't going to get political on this show.
Okay, we're not.
We hope you're enjoying 1000 Marriage Questions. We love doing this show. Do you know it takes a lot of time and work to put this show together? So if you enjoy the show and have the means, consider donating to the show. We will use the money to pay for food, mortgage, education for our kids, paying for this platform. You get it. We are comedians without comedy, doing whatever we can to entertain America. If you can help, we'd appreciate it. Go to virtualcomedyshow.com and click Donate to 1000 Marriage Questions. That again, virtualcomedyshow.com. Donate to 1000 Marriage Questions.
By the way, people have asked me about other ways to donate. My Venmo is right there. And of course, we use that money to provide for the show. I'll give it
Sure.
all to Joe this week. We'll just give it all
Please,
to Joe.
yeah, it all goes to me. So please donate as much
Everything
as you can.
goes to Joe and,
Right.
and his kids getting out of the house.
Yep.
So, okay. So I love these every time. I can't stop enjoying seven
the
tips
50s.
from the 1950s. This is a gentleman who wrote a book, obviously. There's always wisdom in marital advice from books. This is Edward Pulaski's book, Sex Today in the Wedded Wife. The first advice to keeping your man: don't talk.
Boy, that's really stood the test of time, hasn't it?
That has stood the test. That didn't age well at all, did it? Don't talk. Oh my God.
No.
Wow.
Gracious.
So, and one of the main things is don't, and not just don't talk, but don't bring up a bunch of crap from your day. Don't tell what, all this. He doesn't want to hear this crap.
Yeah, listen to the little quotes they have down there. Don't bother your husband with petty troubles and complaints when he comes home from work. Yeah, woman.
Look at the good listener. Let him tell you his troubles because yours will seem trivial.
Trivial.
Right.
Yes.
Mine was only the children were choking to death and I had to go to the hospital because one broke his arm. But it's not about that.
Yeah, could you be quiet? I have to enjoy my martini.
That martini with lunch. Oh my
All
God.
that
Is
being
my
said,
martini.
all that being said, last night at dinner, we've been eating out now because we're totally vaccinated. It's been 2 weeks, and our house is a shambles because it's being painted, and so everything's moved. So we were out, and at one point, my wife, she turned to me and she goes, do you need me to be quiet? Am I talking? She was telling me all this stuff going on. Just there's so much stuff that she's got to process that at one point she goes, should I stop? Am I talking about this too much? And I went, no, you're here. No, I didn't say that. Okay. Let him relax before dinner. Damn you.
No,
Okay.
look at the one above that was remember your job is to build up his ego.
Yeah, well, that is. Yeah. My wife, by the way, is really not. Yeah.
Is to build up his ego. When did that become my job?
I don't know.
In 1951.
When you,
that's
when
when it
you
became
said
your job.
I do, okay,
Yeah.
that's when.
Although
Oh,
I
you have all
do
other
need that.
job options. That's your job now.
I think
Hey, don't forget, it's love, honor, and obey, okay?
I love what this is going to do. It's bad cooking will drive your man to seedy saloons.
How is
He's
that?
not going to go to a restaurant that has good cooking. He's not going there.
How is a seedy saloon any better than the cooking that he just got?
Oh,
It's going to make him drink and find loose women is what it's going to do. It's going
who
to make
can
him find
cook,
that.
apparently.
Who can cook? No, suddenly it has nothing to do with cooking or eating. That's the funny part. It has
I don't
nothing to
know.
do. Wouldn't it send you to, Joanne's drive-in edible place or eats at the I don't know. This just again, it's just
How
stupid.
about he learns to cook himself? How about that?
That's one of the things I tell people all the time is why don't you learn? Because I say, why don't you learn to cook, mister? And
Yeah.
then let her do the laundry because that's what a woman should be doing.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
Keep the house clean, as it says to do here. Housekeeping accomplishments are important. It also says happiness does not flourish in an atmosphere of dyspepsia.
Yeah.
So,
So look under
Words
that.
to
I do
live by.
dyskokia. I like the Coke.
Look
You know,
at this next paragraph, the quote of bad cooking
Yeah.
and the logic
yeah,
of that sentence.
yes. Well, explaining logic to a woman,
Yeah, that's impossible.
forget
Well,
that.
and I understand the cooking thing because men are the best chefs. Women can never be a chef. So that's, I would never eat a restaurant where they let a woman be a chef.
Good
And
Lord.
when she does cook, it says she is not to be a mere can opener.
Yeah.
I love
Here
how
we go.
this guy wrote this book and thought it was so cool to write these really kitschy, fun things. Be the hot steak and not the cheap pork. I love that.
Be the hot steak, not the cheap pork.
Hey,
What
I'm not going to lie to you. When I was younger, I was looking more for a cheap pork.
I
was looking-
liked some cheap pork every once in a while.
yeah, I would like some cheap
yeah.
pork.
Yeah. Yeah. What about hot pork? Is there anything wrong with that? I don't know.
Hot pork is fine. Yeah.
I guess. I love some hot
Cheap
pork.
steak? What's cheap steak doing for you? I think, I don't know. You beat it out.
One is
It's crazy. It's crazy.
indigestible meals. Like I'm constantly setting down indigestible meals.
Well, that's why your husband's always at a seedy saloon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We go to Vegas and our city saloons.
Yeah.
A
Okay,
sexual
what's
vampire.
a sexual vampire? I'm looking for kind of a vampire, Just as the
Look at
vampire
the
sucks-
paragraph, the quote that it explains what a sexual vampire.
Oh, does the woman sucking the life and exhaust the vitality of her male partner. Hey, I want that. You know what? If you're going to
I've
sex me up so good,
I have some excess vitality built up.
Yeah.
Let me just put it that way.
she can say, I
Well,
want to be
we are
spent.
warning each other. Us females are warning each other not to be a sexual vampire. We
Yes.
all know. Please do not be a sexual vampire.
I love
What
the
if-
frigid Franny.
What about a frigid fanny?
Franny.
Right?
Fanny. Well,
My wife, I would say, I think our wives' fannies are frigid.
Pretty
Joe.
frigid.
But I think
Pretty frigid
I
there.
think we're
Yeah.
gonna. I think we're
Yeah.
gonna go with that's a
Sorry.
closed situation.
that was a Freudian slip.
Yeah. Or you're looking for
I don't
something
know,
there.
I don't know why he's wearing a
Yeah.
slip, but I definitely
Yeah, I know. Hope
Freuded
it's not
that one.
edible.
yeah.
So
Okay, they're so terrible.
so that reminds me of the oldest
Bottom
worst.
sentence. Sexual vampires may be found among girls of 20 as well as women of 60 and over. Dang.
He's had all of them.
Yeah.
You're either 20 or 60. You're going to be a vampire. That's
Yeah.
how it works.
So here's the most sexist, horrible joke I remember back in the old days, and that was about two guys discussing how frigid their wife was. And the punchline is, how frigid's my wife? When she spreads her leg, the heat kicks on. When she spreads her legs, the heat kicks on. That's pretty horrible. Pretty horrible.
Pretty bad. That's
Pretty bad. This
Yeah.
guy would have loved that joke.
Yeah.
Loved it. How many of these are there?
Oh, pink.
Oh, I agree
I
with
did
you.
not know that.
What do
This
you
almost sounds like this guy just let his fetish just right out, just out
I
of the
know,
book.
he's,
Just,
put that out there?
yeah.
well, now this is somebody else. This is Dr. Robinson. You know, a delicate too trifling. But nothing is
A
delicate.
delicate pink is the color that most men prefer. Guys,
I don't think that's true anymore. Pink?
I don't. What?
I'm not a.
What?
I'm
What
not
the
a fan
hell
of
is?
pink
is that
at
what you're
all.
like every time you get?
What was it? What was life like back then? I don't know, because on TV it was all in black and white.
Yeah, it was
I guess
black
pink-
and white,
Yeah, it was
so-
all black and white. So pink panties would probably be
Yeah,
I
when she
get it.
took off the clothes, everything
And
was.
lace and ruffles, pink
Right,
ruffles.
right.
Well, now the ruffles are important. I like the ties on the side where you just pull the tie and the thing. You know, that was always my favorite there.
I prefer no underwear, but that's me. I mean, when it comes to that, go
I
crazy.
Me, I've got to wear something. I can't go without the underwear. It's just not.
I'm not wearing any underwear as we speak. I'm not wearing pants.
Yeah,
but
I was
you
going to
can't see.
say, yeah, that's great. It's on
Yeah.
the floor. It's nowhere near the hamper. I'll tell you that.
It is on the floor. It's right there.
That's right.
Right there next to my socks.
And note, the underwear should be spotlessly clean.
That's right. Spotlessly clean. You know what? I hate to say this. There's a lot of men out there who want just the opposite. There are women who make a lot of money
No.
selling. They dance
That's true.
in a G-string or underwear, and
Yep.
then they sell it online
It
for
is.
hundreds of dollars.
That is true.
That
That is true. Yeah.
So I used to be a cocktail waitress while I was going through school.
Yeah.
Something that the girls would do was sell their pantyhose and underwear on the floor.
On the floor. And this wasn't even in Vegas. This was
Somebody
in
would-
this in Peoria.
Someone
yeah.
would offer them some money for their private underwear or pantyhose, which we wear all day doing cocktails. Run. And the girl, if she wanted the money, would go into the bathroom, remove the item, come back with the money, slyly hand them the product.
That's it.
Oh my
That's
God.
just that's shrewd businesswoman right there.
That
Now, yeah, I've tried that too. That doesn't work so well for men. Here's the other thing
No one's
about.
asking, Joe.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No
Um,
one's asking for men's underwear.
Well, I tried to sell it anyway, but that's a different story. And besides, it was in a seedy bar. So anyway, the thing about the pink panties, though, I think maybe what that guy was saying was that he tried to do the laundry one time, and her
everything
white
came out
panties.
pink.
Oh, it
Came
all
out
came
pink.
Yeah.
And he just kept saying, "Oh yeah, no pink
Oh,
is
this
much
I like it this
preferable."
way.
Yeah,
I
this is the
like your
best.
clothes. Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Yes,
exactly
I
right.
love
They did it on purpose. They made them all pink on purpose.
Yep.
This is always my favorite one. That infidelity's fine. Let him have a little fun now and then.
Sure.
Is that the one they're referring to?
Yeah. Well, it says infidelity's right there. He says ultimately a wife will react to infidelity as her heart dictates, but he offers some advice.
Get
if
over
there's
it.
a lapse,
Yeah.
forgive and forget.
Yeah.
Forgive and forget.
Yeah,
Have a
boy.
little fun now and then. Does that go both ways? Does
Nope.
that mean I can have a little fun
No.
now and then too?
No.
not only will he love you just as much, he may love you a good deal more if you look the other way. I think
That's
it
right.
says
He
so
may
right
love
now.
you a good deal more. This
A
is,
good
by the
deal
way,
more.
when America was.
Built his ego.
Yeah, this is when America was great, by the way. Okay.
Yeah,
so
great. Greatest generation.
My favorite one, remember your husband is the boss of you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is good. These have really held up well, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
sure
I
all
think-
of them fly really well right now.
I've really enjoyed learning from the 19 the these are the years all these people are wishing we had back. These are the ones
We
with
did for
separate-
4 years.
Yeah, we did separate water fountains, just back of oh, why can't we have that? You can't have that back.
Here's the problem. There are people out there who honestly think that they're better than you. And those people are I don't know why that's so important to feel that way. I always told my kids when they're growing up, I said, look, you're not better than anybody else. And I said, but no one's better than you. Try and process that, which is why they're very average.
That's
I
the goal. Good enough. That's the goal.
No,
Yeah.
my goal. I told my daughter, we're better than everybody, so you have to be humble. And
That's
you
a good
have
one.
to.
That's a
You
good
have to
one.
be nice because we are so much freaking better than
So much better.
everyone
Yeah.
that you have to hide that and be good. That
Yeah.
with kindness and joy, just knowing that
We are-
they are literally a different species.
Yes, we are.
idiocy.
We are really solving some problems today. I think we
are
did a
really
good job.
helping people out.
We saved a lot of marriages, a lot of parenting. We did some good
We know
stuff.
where to
Good
fart
work today.
now. It's amazing. So
I
Okay.
think not one thing was solved. Not
okay, how dare you?
Mm.
Well, you got your son's car towed.
Actually, you know what happened? He's so smart. He figured out a way to get it to move. So we got to cancel the tow truck after waiting 2 hours. And then he actually got to drive it to where he was needing it to go.
If he was so smart, it wouldn't have gone bad in the first.
How
place.
did he do that?
It's mechanic.
Did he turn the
we're
key?
Wire, the wire and the alternator was yanked from the whatever, and the battery needed
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And that's why the other son is her favorite. Okay, so here it is. Next week, if we do a show, who knows? Who knows what Donna's fun little life will have in store? She may be selling her hose on the floor of a casino. What casino was that, by the way? What?
Boulder Station.
Oh,
that
wow,
one. Sure.
classy.
Yeah,
You were at the
yeah.
top of your
I
game.
was.
at
You know what?
Boulder
Just so you
Station.
know, locals casinos, the waitresses make more money.
Oh, tons more. Tons more money.
I believe that.
So much more money
Yeah.
at local because they get tipped. They're not horrible people like you
Yeah.
get to win and
They
stuff
have to
like
see you
that.
again. You will see them again.
Yes,
True that,
And
yes.
half the time they're waiting tables at another freaking casino, or they're the guy getting the tips. And for everybody out in Vegas, still tip the people seating your ass in the show.
Tip everybody
them-
in Vegas.
Tip everybody you get a chance because
Yeah.
not only will they treat you better, but it's just right. We went to see the Prince show, and everybody has your seat was on the ticket. This is where your seat is.
Yeah.
And people in front of me, they're all getting walked to the back, and mine was in the back too. I had my 20 right in my damn hand when I shook his hand. I said, "Sir, I want to thank you for seating us." And he goes, "Oh, hey, you know what? Your seats are full. Can we go somewhere else?" It took me right in the VIP section, put me right in there.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
because you tipped him $20.
$20.
What the-
20, and that's all it costs.
Loser. He's
Well,
got-
nobody else was tipping this guy. Nobody, everybody should be. Everybody. Okay. Next week, here we go. Best way to tell him to get a life. I think that's a very important question, especially for people marrying these younger dudes who just sit around and
That's a
play
good
video
one. Let's
games all
think
day.
that through because I'd like to go ahead and get a good answer and then tell my daughter about, so maybe
Yeah.
before it's-
Tell him to get a
yeah,
life.
get a life.
Or her get a life if, of course, if they're
Right.
married to
Yeah,
somebody
one
of the
of the
same
two.
gender of that. Okay. Well, that's been fun. I think this is the end of the show.